Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading for you, tuning in to the day's energy, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. Today the birds are taking a vacation in another room. They're just adventure birds, so they're just gone for the day. So they'll be back. Boo Boo and JJ are taking a break. All right. What's hidden from the viewer? What's hidden from the viewer that would be helpful? Thank you. Outcome and advice. Outcome and advice. Sure. Okay. Rearrange some things here. The overall energy, wow, wow, of today's reading is the Nine of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. Nine of Pentacles is luxury, abundance, independence, freedom, a lot of financial independence and freedom. Someone who's learned how to train their focus. They've got a skill and they've created a lot of an abundant stream. And then Ten of Cups is my card for happiness. Look at the celebration going on here. Ten of Cups also for me is a card of choosing to be happy. The people in this card have, it's not that they're choosing to be happy and they've had an easy life. And so of course it's easy for them. They've gone through the ups and downs of life, the travails, the difficulties, the upsets, the lowest of lows, and yet still they're choosing to be happy. Wow. So, wow, this is independence, independent abundance, and happiness, choosing to be happy. Wow. All right, let's dive in. What does the viewer need to know about this overall energy, or is that the end of the reading? And end scene. Let's just leave it there. Okay, we've got Eight of Swords in reverse, King of Wands, Ace of Swords, and Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, okay. It looks like this King of Wands person has cleared some limiting beliefs and now they're seeing the truth. Feels like the truth is having them cut someone out of their experience, someone or something they were investing in. All right. Who's the King of Wands? How can the viewer identify who the King of Wands is? This is bold energy. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Nine of Cups. Happiness. Four of Swords. Healing. Five of Pentacles, Nine of Swords in reverse, Three of Cups in reverse, Seven of Cups in reverse. There's something about how you're showing up, viewer, in this Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, choosing to be happy, your independence, how you've moved, the choices that you've made, and the incredible happiness that you have now that you've centered yourself and healed. It looks like I'm talking to somebody who's, there's abandonment here. I can't tell if you were abandoned, you abandoned. There's a lot of abandonment, leaving cutting people out, getting out of a comfort zone, facing your fears. And it feels like you didn't have a lot of options, and you had a group of people, maybe family or friends, both. They, oh my God, the odds were not in your favor. This has got Hunger Games, the type of energy here. It feels like you won the Hunger Games. You won by your independence and your happiness. You're choosing to be happy after some group you might have been in, and maybe this was a comfort zone, and it feels like you're being abandoned by the group. The group here is trying to make it so you can't move on, that you have no options. It looks like you've just moved on from whatever this was, some abandonment by family, friends. It looks like it was done for you, because the glow up that you've had, the healing, the happiness, your abundance. So tell me more about this King of Wands energy. How can the viewer identify who this King of Wands is? Okay. They don't want to fight. They're not bringing chaos. There's some type of broken contract. Feels like they're talking about some type of broken contract. Oh, okay. Let me dive into the Kipper cards. What is the Hierophant in reverse? Breaking from tradition. Definitely feels like, viewer, you have broken from tradition. It feels like you being able to leave this environment. It feels precarious. It feels like a trap, because no one's on your side. I think you're on your side, but it feels like you don't have any friends in this environment. And they feel very comfortable with making it so you don't have any options. Yeesh. Okay, so this person, this King of Wands, is seeing things clearly. It seems like you showing up, being very independent and very happy, having healed a lot. This person now sees some type of truth, and there's some type of agreement or a broken agreement. Tell me more. What's this broken agreement? Thank you. A meeting reversed and a lot of money reversed. Someone feels like someone's trying to keep money from someone. Money from you, viewer. A meeting reversed. They don't want to connect. Not money. There's something to do with money. There's something to do, like there should be, I'm being shown like account balances, like looking online, and there's supposed to be more money somewhere, some type of accounts. Tell me more about this King of Wands. How can the viewer identify who this is and in their personal experience? Thank you. hopeful, inspired, optimistic. I think this person is hopeful. They've reconnected the dots. They've got the truth now. Whatever limited perspective they have, there's something about how you've been moving, viewer, how you've been showing up that's got their attention. You might have burned bridges with this person, burned bridges in reverse. So this person wants to maybe repair some bridges. Another one, wishful thinking, deja vu, nostalgia. So this is someone you know from the past, and they are hopeful and wishful thinking. It doesn't feel like you're in communication with them because there's burnt bridges in reverse. Like you might have cut them out at some point. And tension reversed. Stressed out migraines so it's in reverse. They're not trying to create tension. If anything, they're trying to, what's the bridge that this person is, the intention of the repairing a bridge? It's a lot with this truth. That you have some truths that this person, now that they're not blinded, it has to do with this past. They wouldn't have heard you or listened to you in the past. They couldn't hear you in the past. It feels like they were under some type of illusion, a limited mindset. They couldn't see what was happening. Now, Eight of Swords in reverse, whatever those limitations were, they're now removed. And this person has the truth. They're after truth. I think, viewer, you have some type of pieces of the puzzle that will help this person understand. It feels like there's something to do with a legal issue, a broken contract. This feels around money. Something around a broken contract, money missing, something like that. And there might even be the law involved. Someone's been lying. What I'm getting, this is a general reading. This feels so specific, but someone now sees the truth. They're able to come to this conclusion. I don't think they're at a full conclusion. They're fact finding. Someone has shown themselves to be unreliable, completely unreliable, deceptive. And this person's no longer investing in them. There's something about finances that took a long time to cultivate. And so this person is wanting to kind of mend. They were under some false illusion, belief system, and how you have made moves, viewer. You show up very above board. You're choosing to be happy, focusing on you, a lot of abundance, a lot of happiness, a lot of healing. It feels like you've really figured out who to keep in your experience and who to cut out, but not everybody deserves access to you. And once someone shows that they don't deserve access, you might have cut this person out At some point they might have, this isn't a lover. This isn't a past relationship. This feels maybe, that's as close as I'm going to get there. Okay, in what's hidden, we have the Lovers in reverse and the Ten of Wands. A burden after a breakup. Very burdened. Who's burdened after a breakup? Jeez. Okay. With Sun in reverse and Star in reverse. Jeez. This is a difficult breakup where there was no clarity, no truth, a hopeless situation. Boy, the story I'm perceiving is feels like in the past for you, viewer, that there was some type of breakup in some environment maybe with someone, with the Lovers reversed. And this breakup caused incredible burdens to you. Feels like this person turned everybody against you, so you would have no options. So you would be abandoned. Jeez. This is just cruel. The lies, the deception, the manipulation. Okay, so in what's hidden, there was a breakup, and it purposefully, someone wanted you burdened, wanted no sun, no star, no hope, no clarity. So this person purposely made this as painful and confusing of a breakup as possible, not telling you anything, withholding information, pulling so they're not communicating. They're purposely trying to set you up for a very painful ending. It feels like someone who's very good at this. They might do this in relationships, work relationships. When they're done with someone, they discard them in a way that makes them look really good. This person, whoever created this painful ending, is very punishing. Manipulative, coercive. This is someone who enjoys tormenting others. Wow. It looks like with Temperance and Queen of Pentacles, I love how the Queen of Pentacles is showing up with her back turned. It feels like you embodied that Queen of Pentacles energy and trained your focus elsewhere, and that's why you're in the Nine of Pentacles. On the inside, it looks like found a lot of balance, alchemized whatever you went through, which is a lot. Ganged up on. No reason. How the heck? How did you get out of this? Ganged up against. I just heard 10 to 1. It feels like you're alone, and you're like, all right, thank you for showing who's with me and who's not. And it feels like everybody kind of disappears. And yet still here you are, alchemizing your energy. It feels like you took a different portal, a different door, trained your focus, and started healing and creating, moving on, healing as you go. And so here you are in Nine of Pentacles and 10 of Cups, very happy. So whatever happened to you, or what people were trying to create for you in a painful ending, it didn't work. Oh, yeah, Judgment reversed, Chariot reversed. Someone tried to make it, they criticized you heavily. You're the problem. You were the one to blame for all. It feels like your lover in reverse, whoever that was, is like, the viewer's the problem. My life would be so much better. They're just a drag on my life, and I can't do anything. And there's some financial aspect, and I can't make moves. I'm stuck. I'm burdened by, it's just, yeah, you were really judged poorly and incorrectly. This person wanted you completely judged so you would never move on again. And it looks like you just pulled your energy and said, nope, I don't want that for me. I'm going to create something for myself. There's something about you taking your energy and going, I'm going to take my toys and go elsewhere then. Okay. Instead of staying and allowing access, people like this that felt comfortable with your judgment. And boy, by the grace of God, grace of whoever, how you got out of this is just amazing. I think it's kind of baffling people as well. Like, how did you, if you didn't have support? I think you have non-physical support, that intuition and a guidance system that got you out of this. Anything else that's hidden that the viewer needs to know about that would be helpful? King of Cups. You've definitely matured as a result of this. There's an emotional maturity here that you could never have achieved in the environment with people manipulating and being toxic. It looks like you had to leave that environment so you could emotionally mature, so you could level up. Oh, and those who, so you disagreeing with it feels like lover in reverse, whoever wanted to discard you, viewer, and make it so you can't move on, so you are completely decimated. When you take your energy and you're like, I don't want to co-create that story. I don't want to be a victim. I want to leave this environment. I want to change my story. I want to change who I am. That's kind of what it looks like. And with you pulling your energy and going elsewhere, what you left behind is that trap energy, but no one to trap. So they get caught in their own trap energetically. They can't move on. And with the moon in reverse, it looks like all this hidden, gross kind of activity, cruel activity is being shown. The truth is coming out because the proof, it's not about what people say, it's in how you're showing up, viewer, as confident, independent, abundant, choosing to be happy, happiness, healing from this, just not partaking in any of this. It feels like you just left. And so now it's being revealed who is the problem in this situation. All right. in the outcome and advice, we have the Seven of Wands in reverse, the Tower, the Knight of Pentacles, Five of Swords, and the World reversed. Seven of Wands in reverse is someone who does not have the higher ground. Definitely your ex, someone who kind of masterminded a plan. I think the Tower is exposing. There's revelations, realizations, epiphanies. Proof is in the pudding. It's just you're not saying anything. You're communicating to yourself. You're healing. It's like you just kind of caught whiff of what was going on, and that was enough for you to just leave and cut people out instead of trying to argue and trying to convince people and just go elsewhere. And that left this person in a miserable place because they don't have you to blame. I think they've always had, or for a long time, they've been able to blame anything that doesn't go well in their life is your problem, is your fault. This person lacks introspection, and so they don't grow, they don't mature. They take full responsibility for anything positive that happens. But anything negative that happens, there's excuses and blame, and they just lack maturity, emotional maturity. They're so much in their ego. What will people think? And so they can't I get the feeling that when this person discarded you, you were in a vulnerable position. You couldn't protect yourself. You were vulnerable. And this person took advantage of your vulnerability to decimate you. Jeez. Punching down, taking advantage of someone when they're in a vulnerable position to decimate them. That isn't like it's weird that this person is in some type of competition with you anyway, because it feels like you're supposed to be in a partnership. But to have you be in some type of vulnerable position, maybe your health, mental, emotional, physical health, somehow you're in a vulnerable state. And instead of supporting you or just letting you go, instead they're like, now's the perfect opportunity. I've got the upper hand. It's icky. The way this person rationalizes, they punch down. Cowardice. That's a lot of cowardice. And so it looks like people are realizing who this person is. For some, it's not about you. Like, they're not seeing the story about you and what happened necessarily. There's something that's happened. Something after you left, about a broken contract, about finances, about missing money. And people are now seeing who this person really is. Wow. Okay. And it looks like there might be, you get to decide, viewer. This is a general reading, but this King of Wands seems sincere, very sincere. They're not an enabler if they were at some point. It feels like they genuinely would like to invest slow. They're not trying to get anything from you. They're no longer investing in whoever this other person is. Yeah, people are seeing, wow. this person, the King of Wands, doesn't want anything to do with, that's interesting, Five of Swords on the bottom and also in the outcome. They see this person as a bully. And this Five of Swords illustration is such a great illustration. Here's a child and an adult, maybe the parent, father. Yeah, the power dynamic, the vulnerability of this child. This is punching down. This is saying barbed words, cruel, hurtful words to someone who is not an equal, who can't protect themselves, who's more vulnerable. And so this, yeah, I get a real ick. People are, at least the King of Wands here, is realizing that they invested poorly. Any last messages the viewer needs to know? There's the Five of Swords again. Oh, this could be a family member with the Six of Cups in reverse coming out. This is another illustration that really shows someone, a power dynamic, a mismatched power dynamic. Hey, I'm really cold here. Why do you always have to complain? And you mess things up by complaining. Well, it's because I'm really cold and miserable here. You know, nobody else is cold and miserable. You're so sensitive. Why do you have to? So there's a lack of care that I'm picking up on. Cruelty, emotional manipulation. And it looks like you took an exit, Fool card, in another direction, and to your Ten of Pentacles. We've got 10 of Cups, now 10 of Pentacles. It feels like you're working towards your legacy. Oh, wow. What was in between the Fool and 10 of Pentacles? What I missed was Justice. Oh, this is it. This is the message. Because you didn't stay and try to, you recognized you were at a disadvantage. This was not the time to fight back or revenge. It feels like you just took your energy and went elsewhere. And the justice is you leaving and creating your 10 of Pentacles, your happily ever after. Amazing karma, just letting go. It feels like, excuse me, some of you have forgiven. Let me define what I'm perceiving this forgiveness looks like. It looks like loving yourself, healing yourself, forgiving yourself for choosing this relationship. That's far on down. There's no blame. There's no guilt or shame that I'm seeing, but it feels like a process of first identifying the people correctly. Stop trying to fix and start recognizing who's who. Okay, nobody's for me. All right, I'm going to keep my head down, stay quiet, and start focusing on my next life. Healing as you go. Yeah, it just looks like a lot of focusing on what's next and healing as you go. A lot of maturing, a lot of alchemizing past pains so you can create something new. And just detaching. It feels like it feels like you burned bridges behind you. It feels like you got a very clear message from the people in this toxic environment, that the lack of care, message received. Instead of begging for care, it feels like you went elsewhere and healed, matured. And so the justice is in you having a huge glow up. You pulling away from this toxicity and saying, I would like to create something different. I don't want to keep co-creating with these people. And so it looks like you're having quite a rebound, glow up. Huge, huge. And now it looks like people are able to see, because this person, if you stayed in this environment and stayed arguing and trying to convince, this person would continue to blame you and be able to get away with that. But because you've left and you've gone on your merry way and healed and created after this a lot of success and abundance and happiness, this person is just stuck in their stories. Who are they going to blame once you're gone? And if they don't have you to constantly blame, then they start. And it looks like you also supported and uplifted this person. And without you there to create stability for them, there's a lot of instability, a lot of entitlement, a lot of really bad behavior that they convinced everyone that you're the one responsible for. And now people are seeing, wow. All right, that's your reading. I hope that was helpful. So interesting. Take care.